Hey everyone, it is Jenny with Jenny's Gaming Therapy. So, I have not been here in a long time. I'm so sorry I haven't posted any content. We have a ton to talk about, and I'm here and I'm okay in case anybody was wondering. Um, yeah, let's get started. Mental health check-in for the day. I'm doing really well. I haven't been in here in a while. There's been a lot going on. There's a lot that has changed in my life since I did my last video. We'll kind of dive into all that type of stuff. And man, it's been a long road. But right now, I am in here with my chickens, and I've definitely missed making videos. So um, I'm not sure what I'll talk about today, but we'll figure it out as we go. Um, Anyway, I'm in here with my chickens, and what I'm trying to figure out is in my chicken enclosure, all of my chickens keep dying. And I don't know why. I don't know if I have too many in here at the same time. I don't know if the enclosure's not big enough. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. But anyway, for those of you who don't know me, this is my little world. I'll give you kind of a grand tour. They did a baby animal update on Minecraft. So I don't know if you can see all my baby animals, but I got baby sheep and baby horses and baby pigs. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. But anyway, this is my world. So this is my main house. And then if you look over here, I've got a ton of farmland. And then we have this gorgeous cave, and I've gone through all this stuff in my previous videos. So if you ever want to see like what the inside of something looks like, go ahead and go to one of those. But this is just kind of what I'm doing. So I got my ducks over here. Oh, look, there's a beaver. I've got a tiger over here, which is new since last time I saw you guys. He's only in a small enclosure for now, but that is because I am clearing land to build him a giant one. And then here's my panda enclosure, which I've shown in other videos as well. But I really like this one because of the ancient ruins that are in it. I think it's pretty awesome. Anyway, so guys, mental health in Minecraft. Gosh, where do I start? Last time I saw you guys, I was still working at Anthem Broadband. There's my little copper golems. Anyway, I'm clearing all this land over here. Let me go up and I'll show you. My son has built a ton of stuff over here too. Anyway, I am clearing this land. I'm clear from where you can see there all the way to the water. So it's been quite the project. So I'm going to kind of do some of that today. While we hang out. And anyway, last time you guys saw me, I was still working at Anthem, and I don't really know why I quit doing videos. I don't know if it was, I know for one, my headphones weren't working very well anymore. And then for two, I think, if I remember, the last couple videos I did were pretty heavy. And I think that I just didn't process those well. And then I was also like going through a lot in my personal life, like just job change and all this crazy stuff. So for those of you who are new here, this is all about being able to talk about mental health and using video games as a way of healing and feeling better, and just being a part of a community of other people who struggle with mental health issues. And for me, I have bipolar 2 disorder. I'm a little ADHD, and I'm a little bit on the spectrum as well. And so, anyway, this has just been a great little outlet for me, but I kind of stepped away for a while. So anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. See, haha, there's the ADHD right there. I forgot what I was telling you. And I don't know what I'm looking for right now, but I sure can't find it. No, there it is. I just need some stone. Well, that's not it. Anyway, there was a lot going on in my life. There was a big job change, and just a lot all at once. And I think that the last few videos that I did were pretty heavy. I think maybe I had a hard time processing them, and I think maybe subconsciously I didn't, post because I was having trouble processing, what I had just shared with everyone. But, it is what it is. So, I'm back because I know and I feel like this channel can help people process their feelings, and that's really, really what I'm here for and what I want to do. So, anyway, so we'll start from the beginning. Gosh, when I left, I was still working at Anthem, and I had gotten this job opportunity, and I'm not gonna say any company names just because just because. So anyway, so I got this job offer at a factory, and anyone who knows me knows that I am deathly afraid of heights, right? So and I definitely have a physical response. It's not just a fear, it's definitely on another level. My knees go weak, I get scared, I cry. It's really scary. So anyway, so I go to this factory, and I'm like, I guess I didn't realize what I was getting into when I took the job. And I originally took it just because it was going to be so much more money than what I was making. And I just really, and it was full benefits. And I just really thought that it was going to be this great opportunity for me and my family to get ahead, and it would have been had I not had the obstacles that I had. And anyway, so I go to the job, and I'm in orientation, and it's a week-long safety orientation class basically that you take. And during this orientation, they take us on tours of the factory. Now, this specific factory has towers and mills and things like that are, some of the areas are about 300 feet up off the ground. And not only that, but the floor that you're on is a see-through floor, So in orientation, they take us on these tours, and I would get to a certain level up these see-through stairs, and I would start to have a panic attack. And of course, I wasn't going to be like, no, I'm not going to go up there, because I really wanted this job, and I had, and what I think what really kept me trying to do it was that I had just, I had been at my previous job for 3 years, and it was really a career, or for me anyway, and I gosh, I just didn't want to have left my nice, comfortable job for something that I was going to fail at. Do you ever, I don't know if anybody else can relate to that, but you try for something and it doesn't work out, and you just feel like you have failed. And I didn't want to feel that way, so I kept trying. And every day in orientation, we would go on these tours of the factory, and we would go up 300 feet in the air, and I would just have a meltdown. And then one of the other people in orientation would, of course, have to hold my hand and help me get down, and it was really embarrassing because, like, obviously I'm an adult, you know what I mean? Like, it's just embarrassing. It just is, and here's the thing. There are a lot of us that have fears that are probably irrational and embarrassing, but they're fears nonetheless. And sometimes you can't control how you respond to fear. There's some people out there who can. Kudos to them. I am not one of those that responds to fear well. So, anyway, so I just, I continued through the orientation, and it was like 5 days. And by the last day, I was so just emotionally drained from going up these huge, tall towers and having these panic attacks, and then having to be helped. And, I was so emotionally drained. So my last day of orientation, I went to the lady in HR, and I was like, listen, I want this job. I said, I just left a 3-year career for this job. So this isn't a joke to me. Like, this needs to work for me. I don't want to have given up on one of my favorite jobs that I've ever had to end up failing at this. Like, I just don't want to. I said, but I also cannot handle the heights every day. There's no way that I can come to work every day and have to go up and down these stairs and be able to emotionally keep myself put together when I'm having panic attacks on the daily. Like, it's just exhausting, And I told her, I said, I will show up every day. I don't call in. I'm a good worker. But I just can't do the heights. I said, is there anything else in this factory that I can do that doesn't require heights? And she was really, really nice to me. She was like, yeah, let's see what we can do for you. And she had found me a job in their storeroom. So, like, this specific factory, like, they let me take a look at what we're doing here. We're making a mess. Anyway, this specific factory, they supply all their own parts for the entire factory. Like, so for anything they need for, like, the mill or the other side of the factory, and I'm trying to tell you guys this without giving too much away, because I don't want to, like, put this factory out there or whatever, but anyway, so they supply all their own parts for this, everything that they need. So they had this place called the storeroom, which is where basically the parts come in on inventory, and then the storeroom is where the employees, when they need parts for things, you know, the mechanics and whatnot, they come into the storeroom and they get those parts. And it was nice. I really enjoyed working out there. I had a lot of fun. And I don't know, you know, like, okay, so before I tell this part of it, like, obviously I'm an adult, right? And, you know, you should be able to look past the way that people treat you, and just do your job, which I fully get. But there's also like a point where you have to keep your own sanity, and you have to protect your emotional well-being. And I'm saying that without trying to sound like, oh, poor me, like, you know, people are so mean. Like, I'm not trying to sound that way at all. But there is a point when you do have to protect your emotional well-being and your peace in your life. Like you need to be able to keep your peace. You need to be able to be happy. And I understand that you're not always going to be happy in every situation that you're in. You know, that's not feasible, and like nothing's ever going to be perfect. But there's also a line, right? There's a line that shouldn't be crossed. And without going into too much detail, basically there was a certain person there, several people, almost everyone I worked with really, who were very unkind almost constantly. And I blew it off for a while. You know, there was a lot of, oh, she doesn't deserve to be here. She's only in this part of the factory because she's scared of heights. There was a lot of that going on. And it got to the point where it wasn't just me being talked about, but it was becoming harmful to my job. I had to lift, most of the time, very heavy pieces of equipment. Some so heavy that I had to use a heister and ropes to even lift it up. And it was a very, very dangerous job at times. And I was being bullied to the point where people would refuse to help me with things that was very blatantly and very clearly a two-person job. And of course, me being me, I would just suck it up and do it myself. I ended up, you know, physically harming my back a few times, just because I would go through a whole shift and people would refuse to help me. I dropped a 60-foot, 200-pound piece of angle iron on my legs one day because the worker that was supposed to be we would always have two people with us every day, and the worker that was supposed to be my second, which would be like my helper, refused to come out and help me at all. So yeah, that's the first part of the story of kind of what I went through when I stopped making videos. I got to the point where I said, you know, this just is not worth it. I was coming home every day so beat up and so exhausted, emotionally and physically, that I wasn't functioning for my family as well as I should. I mean, obviously, I wasn't just leaving my family with nothing, but I definitely wasn't there mentally, and I wasn't there very well physically either. I was hardly seeing them because I was either, after working 12-hour shifts like that with no help from anyone, and being bullied as bad as I was, I would just, I was either sleeping or at work. So I decided that it wasn't worth my peace, and I left. And I really struggled, and I still think I struggle a little bit with the guilt of that, because I feel guilty that I gave up those benefits and the money that it paid, that could have really helped my family. But however, nothing's worth that much of your peace, right? Look at this peacock, it's so beautiful. And that's so pretty. Yeah, so I definitely was struggling with some things while I've been gone, and that was just the beginning. But it ended well, and we'll talk about that a little bit in my next video. But yeah, so I just decided that it wasn't worth my peace anymore, and I left, and but I'll tell you all about how it ended up in my next video, because it did end very well for me. And I'm really happy where I am now. And so yeah, that's kind of where it started. And during that time, I was just, emotionally exhausted, and I really needed time to put myself back together so that I could come back here and I could make these videos. And oh, there's some glitches. Look at that. It's glitching. Ah, scary. Anyway, yeah, so I just love this bedroom. I wish this was really my bedroom. Isn't it so great? Have coffee right here in the morning. Anyway, I missed talking to you guys, and I missed getting things off my chest and talking about life, because real life happens every day, right? And it's important for us to stay together and to get through it mentally. And so anyway, we'll talk more in my next video. And I'm really excited that I got out of that situation and that I am where I am today. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll check in again in the next few days or so. Talk to you later.